Alrighty everyone, the Revell 66 Chevrolet Impala Super Sport 396 2-in-1. Get to build a lowrider with a stock. 148 parts. I like the artwork with the sunset or sunrise. You can build, looks like orange stock with a blue lowrider. I'll probably be building the stock. So if you guys remember in my earlier videos, this one, the box came out crushed, but it seems like over time, once I opened up the plastic, the box straightened out, so it's no longer crushed. I guess when they vacuum seal it, sometimes it's too tight. Let's take a look at what's inside. Clear parts. It's no longer one piece. It's the rear and the front are separate pieces. You have the lowrider tires, which are smaller in diameter. Stock white walls. The body, which is nice. I gotta open up the bag. This looks like chassis and engine. Chrome. I guess these are the lowrider wheels with the spokes, with the Daytons. Let's take a look at the instruction sheet. Decals are probably in here. Take a look at the decals. So half of it is the lowrider, speaker grills. Oh, I like how they include a New York license plate. Dashboard decals, pinstriping. They have all the parts listed, the paint. Engine assembly, suspension, chassis, exhaust, rear suspension. Pretty detailed. All the components are all separate. So I think the AMTs are more simplified, but the Revell monograms are more detailed. Actually, Revell. Choice, stock or lowrider, decal placement. I like how they include decals if you don't want to paint the raised detail. Okay, so let me unbag the kit, wash the parts, maybe we'll go a more thorough part review. Alright, so the parts are unbagged, so let's take a look at them. This is for the lowrider option, the small diameter Daytons, the chain link steering wheel, some other chrome pieces I don't recognize. Here are the stock parts. I'll be leaving them in high shiny chrome because that's how it was in the 50s and 60s. The steering horn ring, stock wheel covers, bumpers, black wash the grill, nice detail, mirrors, wiper blades, tires, get the stock tires, white walls. You can flip them to the back if you want black walls. There's no names on them, so probably could order decals if you want a certain particular brand. Smaller diameter lowrider tires. I saw on the decal sheet they had the yellow and white walls if you wanted them. The hood, the radiator support, firewall, seat backs, exhaust, radiator and radiator shroud, radiator hose, back of the wheels, the front end, rear axle, differential, engine block, steering wheel, fan, seats, dash. The dash does not have any detail, so you have to use the decals. It's not like you can... Oh, I think there is some detail. The red lenses for the rear taillights. 66 was flush. Not the separate circular taillights that you're used to. Valve covers, drive shaft, steering, lower control arms, coil springs. The interior is not a tub. It's got the separate sides so you can detail it easier. Belt, pulleys, oil pan, manifold, air cleaner. And then the body. It comes nestled in with the chassis, so the chassis is not one piece. Be highly detailed. Body looks nice. It does have raised detail, so if you don't want to use a decal, you can just work with the raised detail. Super Sport. The Chevy cross flags. The 396. It's beautiful. Alright, so from here I'll probably wash the parts and splash some paint on. Alright, so the parts are back from spray painting. So here's the interior. Decided to do the carpet in dark brown, or basically like rubber color, which is like dark brown. Then the spray is nutmeg, or like a dark tan. For the seats, let's get the two-tone effect. I accented the I guess the chrome buttons, or whatever you call them. Painted the side of the middle chrome. There's a chrome piece, so I just painted the side like light brown to match the seats. Started to detail the dash, but I'll probably use the decals. This is the door panels. The trim on the rear lights. The chrome. Black wash the grille. Reverse lights. Turn signals. Black wash the hubcaps. Was able to put the SS Super Sport in the spinners. The engine pieces. Still have to assemble the engine. Since I'm using this Rust-Oleum, I really want it to dry. Gold. Now the body, having a little difficulty with it. Again, the same problem I had with the Starskin hutch, with the plastic underneath, showing the variation in the shade. So I'll have to put a clear coat and then spray it again. Over here, I seem to have gotten some dust particles, so I'm going to have to see if I can buff it out. One thing I forgot to do was spray the cardboard paint booth that I use to catch the overspray. Usually I spray it with some water to wet down the flying dust, but I do spray outside. So it seems like after I prime the body and I try to wipe off the dust that settles on it, I seem to create static electricity, because there's always dust particles that get attracted to the body when it has a primer coat. So then after spending time wiping the dust off, it still attracts dust. I do spray outside though, so I'll have to do a better job of wetting everything down before I spray. So here is the chassis in black, the radiator, firewall, and the supports for the radiator. Belts and pulley, pedals. This is the the rear suspension. Pre-assembled it. Some other parts in black and gold. The carburetor is in gold. The front suspension I still have to put together. The air cleaner is sprayed. And the license plate frames. Actually, only one side gets used. Okay, or shows. Alright, so from here I'm going to have to figure out what to do with this body. And then still assemble the separate sub-assemblies. So I'll be back when the sub-assemblies are done. Alright, so all the parts are painted. Start with the interior, seats, including the chrome trim on the side, dash, middle console, steering with the black knob for the flasher signal indicator. Bottom is simple, flat black. Interior will be brown. Door panels, some gold parts. Belts, pulleys are gloss. Belt is flat. Wheels, radiator, and shroud. The rear suspension, I kind of glued everything together. I didn't want to deal with gluing it after it's been painted. So shocks are blue. Springs, I highlighted the coil. Silver exhaust. Flat black, I guess, air conditioning and heating hoses. The battery with the green will match the body. The what do you call it? To fill it with acid, the caps, green. Chrome has been black washed, the grille. Reverse lights, turn indicators, SS in the middle of the spinners. Front suspension is in semi-gloss. Carb is in gold. And the body. So the body is done. I did get some cracking when I was laying the second coat, so I had to wet sand, polish. Everything's good to go. Put the chrome trim in. The hood is done as well. Just to find it. Where is the hood? Alright, let me find the hood and be back. Tail lights. Trim is done. Okay, found the hood. It was underneath the box. Here it is. Chrome trim is Molotow. So that fits right in here. So we're good to go. Alright, so all the sub-assemblies are done. So right before I put together all the final assembly, I just want to show you everything. Body with chrome trim. Windshield washer is in. I still have the chrome pieces for the door handle, the rear view mirrors, and the rear antenna. I'll put those last because they always tend to come off very easily. The hood is ready. Gold hinges are in place. Interior with the seat belts. I happen to have brown seat belts. Interior, use decals. Very nice. The engine, I wired the ignition or distributors, put the red and black battery cables. The only thing is, I'm trying to get 2 uses out of each ignition wire accessory. So what I did was I cut the wires, and then the next time around I'll use the other ignition wire with the distributor cap and coil for another car. So thus 2 uses out of 1 accessory. So I was trying to save as much wire as possible, but next time I think I'm going to use just a little bit more wire because there should be a little more slack. I remember the wires were really, really tight. But anyway, here it is. I like how they have the windshield washer bottle. It's made of clear plastic. I wanted the battery acid caps to match the color of the car, so they're green. So that's what it looks like. I figure I show you this so you can get kind of like a full 360 before I put everything together. I love to highlight the coils and the coil springs. Tail lights will be put in after I make the chassis interior. Clear plastic lenses are in the headlights. Turn signals are marked. Reverse lights marked. Tires are ready to go. Just snap them into place. Chose white walls as opposed to black walls, so it's ready for final assembly. Almost forgot to show you guys, but the interior, I'm impressed with the interior dome light. It actually had a chrome trim ring that I highlighted with a volatile pen, and it came with a clear plastic piece to simulate the dome light, because most of the time it's just molded into the plastic. So that was pretty impressive. Okay. Alright everyone, so this is the final product. Overall, I didn't realize the kit was an older mold because there was some flashing on this kit, but it is highly detailed. The front suspension is in many pieces, which is good because it's highly detailed, but that also means that if you don't put it together right, you're going to end up with a little bit of free play on the suspension. It's not going to be straight, but the wheels do move. The suspension is many pieces, so it's highly detailed rear suspension. The spinner hubs are 2 pieces. You get the chrome full wheel cover plus the spinners. The raised detail is not that raised, so that means you have to use the decals, which come out clearer, but if you want to dry brush it, it's going to be kind of challenging because it doesn't really come up that much. But overall, it's a pleasure to put together. I really took my time with this one. Unfortunately, this Rust-Oleum green paint, even though I laid it on thick and I polished it, there was a little bit of alligatoring when I put in the second coat. You can kind of see it over here. A little alligatoring, but I polished it down, but you can still see a little bit of it. So it's not candy smooth like I wanted it to be, but it is highly detailed though. Put the seat belts in. Let me stop the video so I can open the engine compartment. Here is the hood with the hinges. The engine compartment. Put the decals on. So as usual, I will have stills at the end. I like the 396 decal on the air cleaner. AC Delco for the battery. something on the valve cover, and something on the front of the air cleaner that says front. But overall, pretty nice. Took my time with the Molotow for the chrome trim. With the Molotow pen, it's kind of tricky because there's a liquid suspension that suspends the chrome pigment, so you have to really start the chrome pigment going, and once you do it, it's kind of like cork. You have to get a nice even bead all the way across. So that's what I did. Overall, nice kit. Highly recommend it. There is a little bit of flashing, and be sure that you read the instructions carefully because options for a lowrider is included. But even without the lowrider, those 14-inch tires with that long, low, slung body makes it look nice and long. Okay, so hope you guys enjoyed this build. I had a great time with it. See you guys later.